I think in general, one of the things that I'm prioritizing more is gratitude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think I need to get back on that.
Yeah, I think that's...
Because I think for...
Okay,
He
can't be.
agrees, man. No,
Yeah.
he agrees. He agrees.
Be grateful from me.
Yeah, he hasn't done that ever. He said, I agree with that. So, yeah, I think that is one of the big ones that I've done. Because that used to be something that I would practice, like, actively
Yep.
so often. No, I haven't journaled. I haven't journaled in the last 3 months, I'd say. Not even months. Whereas every morning before, I would like write out the plan that I had to do for the day or reflect on things. Or I have a couple different journals. One of them is like literally a journal that has prompts in terms of what are you grateful for, what things you
remember you got that.
focus on. But I haven't done that in months. I kind of feel like the last couple months, like I was saying to you earlier, I feel like my energy's been sullen a little bit. Like I haven't had the same... I haven't had that same vibe of gratitude.
Yeah.
And that's something for the last week or so I've had again. Like I want to bring that back. I want to practice gratitude more actively. Make more time for that. Make more space for that. A few of the books that I've been listening to over the last week, they're interesting. They're nothing to do with powerlifting whatsoever. One of them is like purely a financial thing. And then the other one, in the financial book, I just love books. They if there's someone that you like, there's like an author that you enjoy listening to, or you like the subject matter, the way they think, more often than not, they talk about people who have influenced their way of thinking. And then you hear about another author or another book, and it like gives you a thread to pull on, and then you can go there, and then you can see like the chain of the thoughts and ideas and who passed what on to who. So he mentioned a guy, Zig Ziglar. Okay? Have you ever heard of Zig Ziglar?
ZZ's, no.
Zig Ziglar. I'd never heard of Zig Ziglar either. He's like this, pretty sure he's just like a motivational speaker. That's all he is. He just speaks about motivation.
Okay. Yeah.
He died like 10 years ago, 12 years ago, something like that. He was big in, I guess, the 80s, 90s, 2000s.
Yeah.
But this Zig Ziglar guy. And I was like, let me just look up Zig Ziglar. And there's this. It's an audiobook technically, but it's like compilations of talks that he's given, like motivational speeches and talks that he's given. Anyway, listen to those, and I couldn't even really tell you the subject matter of any of them. I just enjoy listening.
You up.
It just hype you up. I just enjoy listening to him. But that's one of the things that he talks about, is that like gratitude. Nice. That's one of the general things. The whole premise is just like how to enjoy your life more, how to be better, how to get more stuff done. Yeah. I think it's targeted to people who like feel as though they're destined for something bigger, but they don't really know how to access it, or they don't know how to get there. And this kind of just, I guess, is geeing you up. It doesn't seem that common these days. I don't know, but maybe it is.
Gratitude practices?
No, like that motivational speaker.
Oh.
It seemed like that was such like this guy's whole job is just speaking to theaters of people to hype them up.
Well, like Tony Robbins.
So that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Tony Robbins is the exact same person. Like if you go on Tony Robbins' website, I hope people know who he is, and if they don't, just like look him up. He's a motivational speaker. He has like these courses and packages that he offers. There's the different categories. It's like mindset, health, wealth, relationships, sports, blah 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 blah. Everything, like everything in your life, he has a course for how he can help make it better. And I'm like, yo, what?
The king.
What do we do? Like
God.
What is he actually giving you? And I think it is just that general, like hyping you up that you are capable of doing like big things. You're capable of doing things that you put your mind to.
People need that.
Yeah.
Because people fall into this loop of like believing the opposite.
Yeah.
And then they're stuck there.
And then I had to ask ChatGPT. I was like, I'm listening to these people, and it's like enjoyable. Like Zig Ziglar is like, he's funny, like he's very humorous. That's one of the things Tony Robbins does. Tony Robbins does like 8-hour speeches for like over multiple days. I'm like, what is going on there? Like, what are they doing? What are they giving? What are people getting from it? Because I'm listening to it and I'm enjoying it, but I don't know if I'm taking anything away. And maybe that's because I've spent so much time like in this kind of personal development world. Then it got me thinking, stuff like Chris Willington. I guess that's all that is. It's just packaged in a different kind of thing. They're just delivering it through a different medium, through a podcast, like a 2-hour thing, as opposed to like a direct speech on a stage to a crowd of people. Because it is about that. It's like personal development, and I love that kind of stuff. So I do understand the utility that it has. Anyway, that was a long kind of rambly tangent. One of the big things that Zig Ziglar was talking about was that gratitude and the importance of like looking for things to be grateful for, and then the more you express gratitude, the more you're going to find things to be grateful for, and the happier life is going to be. And the more you complain and gripe, the more you're going to find things to complain and gripe about.
Yeah.
So that was one of the big things that I took away from it. And then he talks about the importance of like repetition. He's like, I recommend that you watch or listen to these tapes 16 times over. He's like, you need to hear it that many times for it to register in your brain. And when you've heard it that many times, you're going to know how to finish the sentences that I'm saying right now. It's going to be implanted in your brain. It's no longer me talking to you. It's you talking to yourself. You've then created that self-talk that's going to replace the negative self-talk that you have. And then you're going to have like created this whole new mindset and outlook of the world. So anyway, that's what I took away from Zig Ziglar. The importance of repetition, the importance of like consuming stuff over and over and over again. I also heard that, I think we even talked about it in the podcast, like that being referenced in terms of religion. Like people read the same one book over and over again for their whole lives to put those messages in. And it's not that we need to be told something new. It's generally that we just need to be reminded of old truths that we've already been exposed to.
Cool.
So yeah, anyway, long and short of it is gratitude.
Both of those, the repetition. In my mind, I was like, well, like if you were like studying or you were trying to, learn something off, one repetition and then consolidation attempts, like retest, test, retest. So you like say read everything and then try to reproduce, and then whatever you whatever you don't get, you learn, and then you try to reproduce everything and so on. But no, repetition is how you become like an expert in something. Like it's the reason, say, someone very specific, I don't know, like a doctor of some bone surgery. It's like they know that like the back of their hand because they've done it over and over and over again. When they first left medicine, they didn't know like the back of their hand. They could maybe talk about it a little bit, but they didn't know the ins and outs, and they couldn't like recite it to you because they have a million things to recite. So you then double down and whatever. But yeah, repetition is for sure. It's like a song. It's like just when you hear a song over and over again, you just know the lyrics. But the gratitude thing was interesting because you said you haven't done it in a little while, but you were once, and it's like one of those things that when your energy dips low, you start to drop off things that require a little bit extra. It reminds me of the concept of eating less. Your body eventually adapts to just like moving you less, so that you're not in as much of a deficit of calories, which I remember not considering for a while, things like that, or your brain will start to do less and so on. But yeah, when you're tired, you will naturally start to drop these things off, and when you're in a bad mood and tired, they kind of go hand in hand. Whichever one comes first, they tend to come at the same time, and you will start to stop doing those things because you're just in such a bad mood. Nothing can help, nothing is ever going to help. But then it's such an easy, accessible, repeatable intervention that actually doesn't require much. Like it is very accessible, both cost, time, energy, and has zero cons.
It is only beneficial. And then it's like disproportionately beneficial. Like the amount that can change your headspace and just like whole outlook is overwhelming for how small of a task that it is. And then it compounds. The more you do it, then the more you see, and
changes your outlook. Then you're grateful for everything. You're in a positive mindset every day. Or you start to inject this positivity into maybe a bunch of negatives. Maybe there are a bunch of negatives going on in your life. But you find there's only so much we can do,
You kind of, I remember saying before, like nitpicking the positive. That's something that I want to start doing more. Because we nitpick the little small details to complain about so much. I want to nitpick the positive stuff. I want to find as many little things that I can be positive about. Because I remember when I was doing that often, I was on such like a high. I was like, I was high on life. Just finding things to be happy about all the time. And the objective circumstances, probably not all that different, it's just the internal parameters, the internal world, like what you're focusing on, what you're putting that energy into, and then the more you give to that, the more you get back, and then that reflects in your relationships with other people. When you have that demeanor that you're happy and positive all the time, people want to be around that. Like I want to be around people who are like that. If you're around someone who's mopey negative, like that's not very fun. That's draining. Like
man, we should make this podcast a full how to be positive, how to feel good episode. Before that, Russell's been like really leaning into the story posting of like he was posting a full bunch of stories, and then the next one after a session he was in the bath and he was like like surrounded by bubbles, was like bubbles all around his head, and he was like, "God damn, that session took it out of me. Got to recover hard." And he's like,
Man, you should start doing that. Man, you had your little phase of thirst traps. Man, you had your little thirst trap phase. I reckon you should do that.
Yeah, man. Fucking man, wait till you come back, bro. Wait till you come back.
When I come back, it is gonna be heavy on the thirst traps. It is gonna be heavy on the thirst traps.
Yeah, man. What else, helps you feel better when you're not feeling too good? And you have to. It's like an active intervention, sure, but then it's like it actually helps. It's actually useful. What's your go-to? Let's say you're in a rut.
I think leaning on the people around me. I'm very grateful that I have such a good support network. You would be someone that I would come to very frequently. And now I have, come on, man. And now I have ChatGPT as well.
Yeah. Gives you them virtual kisses.
Honestly, ChatGPT is crazy.
Yeah.
I use it a lot. Like I'm finding it almost like an interactive diary of sorts.
Good way to put it.
And it's very easy to use it because it feels very non-judgmental because it's not a real person. So you can express all the thoughts. It's like I'm going through this situation.
Yeah.
And then it helps like work through that, parse through that. It's just like super validating, which is funny because it's not a real person, but it's like what you're experiencing is valid right now, and it's normal that you would think and feel these things. Here's how you can start to work through it. So honestly, as weird as that is to say and admit, using ChatGPT, relying on the people around me, talking, and I think now, coming back to gratitude, what are you grateful for? What are you grateful for today, right now?
Grateful for today?
Yeah, what are you grateful for right now?
You're very energizing.
Yeah.
I woke up this morning and I like doing a lot of work and feeling a little bit under pressure, but I was like, nah, you know what? Like, even though I'm a little bit like tired and feeling like I have to do a lot of work, I know the podcast will make me feel good. I know seeing you will make me feel good and talking to you will make me feel good. Yeah. Grateful for my beautiful dog.
Yes.
He's so handsome. He's so loving.
Anyone who just listens on Spotify.
Unconditional love.
Yeah. Make sure you go onto YouTube.
Yeah, maybe we'll
see the big fluff.
The big fluff. It's a good nickname.
Yeah.
Just the fluff.
Yeah.
The big fluff. The biggin. Grateful for all the food in my house. Fridge full of food.
Yeah.
Grateful for man. Someone said recently they can't wait because you'd be on this, and maybe you can weigh in. Maybe you don't care.
Yeah.
They can't wait to move away, because they can't wait. Or they said they can't wait to move away. I said, okay, why? And they said, mainly because like quality of life will be better. I said, okay, why? And they're like, the weather. And I was like, dog. And then I talked to Sean about it, my friend. And we are not arguing that nice weather doesn't make you feel good. And we're not arguing that when you look out and it's gloomy, that it can help you reinforce negative feelings. Though, like what we're on, it's like, let's not let the weather control whether or not we're in a good place. Okay? Like, for sure, the weather's nice. And when I'm in Florida, when I'm in Spain, when we were in Malta, it's like, man, seeing that water glistening and there's heat on your skin, man, who doesn't love that? But there's going to be times when the weather's not great. And this is like a metaphor for life itself. But the weather is unavoidable. It's like, if our mood, if our outlook on life is dictated by something as simple as the weather, it's like something that makes, and it's like rain, it's something that makes the flowers grow. And you're saying that it's making you down. I get it. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm not saying it's not something that happens to everybody. But then, like, come on, let's not stack up the chips against ourselves when it's something that we can, lean away from,
This is fascinating, and this is one that we'll dig into because I don't know my thoughts necessarily, and we're gonna have to talk about it, and I'll uncover them as we go. Because I would have been, and I would be someone who, like, I want to move away. I imagine in the coming years, like I'll be living abroad and whatnot, not in Ireland. I've lived away for an extended period before, and really enjoyed that. And I'm also someone who, I think I've said on this, I would find that the weather would significantly impact my mood, particularly in the past, but less so now. So before, like, have you heard of that, like, seasonal depression and seasonal affective disorder or something along those lines?
Yeah.
Where the bad weather seems to have like a disproportionate effect on people's mood. And I was I would have heard that and seen that and been like, that sounds a lot like me. That resonates a lot with me, because when the weather is gloomy, for whatever reason, I seem to be in quite a bad mood. And when the weather is good, I seem to be in like a disproportionately good mood.
Yeah.
But then acknowledging this whole idea of you'll see what you are focusing your attention on. I have tried to implement that more and more and more. And like I said, I've found that it's having less of an impact on my mood. Because are you going to do that? If the weather is bad, you are placing the onus for your like internal state on something external. You're putting like that external locus of control. Are you gonna take some ownership and realize that you decide kind of what's going on within your head? Are you a victim to your circumstances, or are you going to take some ownership of that? So that's something that I've tried to implement a little bit more, focusing on the good. When you said the rain is something that makes the flowers grow, come on, that little thought.
Yeah.
Or like something that I found myself like thinking or saying when it's raining is like, it's a day for the ducks. Like the ducks are going to be loving this right now.
Oh, they're
and the
in.
flowers and the ducks. And someone said that to me before. They're like, generally Ireland is the Emerald Isle and it's so green and like we've such like beautiful landscapes and whatnot. It's because of the weather.
rain.
Yeah, we don't live in a desert like, and the places that do have that sunny weather all the time, they don't have the beautiful scenery, the flora and the fauna that we do.
Yeah, they got that sand.
Yeah. So like when I'm like, we would not be the Emerald Isle without the climate and conditions that we have.
Yeah.
So then you got to be grateful for that as well.
Yeah.
And here's a funny one that I heard. I think it might have been from Jocko Willink.
Yeah.
Or another like military person of sorts. And they were saying that when it would be piss and rain, they would say it's like good operating weather. Because if you went out on like a mission when it's piss and rain, no one else is doing anything, like they're inside. So when it's piss and rain, they're like, good operating weather. And occasionally, if like it's good for the flowers, it's good for the ducks, isn't working, I'll be like, it's good operating weather. I could go out right now and I could do a mission.
And you're getting ahead. You're getting ahead, man.
Yeah.
Everybody
it's like
else
Mike Tyson, everyone else is sleeping. Man, everyone else is down in the dumps. This is good operating weather for me.
Yep.
So
absolutely.
like where you put that energy and attention does have a significant benefit. And that is, I like that you're like, why is the quality of life better? Why would because if you're, again, get that whole idea of like the external locus of control. Are you gonna just say, if you're ever in a place where the weather is bad, you're gonna be in a mad mood? Can you not take a little bit of more control there?
Control.
Can you not find ways to?
It feels like you're giving up your happiness to something so out of your control.
Which, let's not do that.
I think thinking back now, I started to pull on that thread, and the strong argument they made was, if I have to work anyway, then I'd be happier waking up in the sun than in the cold rain. Now you could really nitpick that and say, well, are you working on something that doesn't make you happy? A lot of people do. A lot of people have to face, or even if you work at something that makes you happy, there are going to be mornings where it's like, I don't want to get up this morning. I get that it might be easier in the sun. So I am not refuting every part of the argument. I'm counter-arguing, saying I think it would be beneficial for everyone to not be so susceptible.
Yeah. Can we move a little bit along the spectrum?
Yeah, of like a little bit more, bring back the locus of control a little bit more to you, and not be dependent on externals. Like, I think we've talked about this at the very start of the pod, when we started to learn it, was like relying on other people or say the outcome of a competition to dictate your happiness is futile, because it's almost never going to go that way unless you're the one person that wins all the time. You know? Yeah,
it's one of those other things where you're putting your like happiness in this distant point in the future. You're kicking the can down the road. How about we find a way to be happy right now? Like you were saying, this individual, and like the way that this person spoke, I've said all those things, and I've said all those things like 100 times, so I can resonate and understand a lot of what they're saying. And again, as you touched on, it's not an attempt to like refute that argument. I'm just exploring the nuance of it a little bit. But completely lost my train of thought there. Anyway, no idea what the point I was going to make.
Sometimes I just start a sentence and hope I land somewhere.
It was because I wanted to make this point like 4 times.
Yeah.
And it just completely left my mind. That's fine. I think this happens a lot when I take a lot of caffeine.
Really?
I get
I love that.
It's like too many.
I fucking love that.
It's too many thoughts happen at the one time, and then I go too far back. I'd need to like go back and listen to what I was saying. Oh yeah. It was about, if you are like putting your happiness at some point in the future. It's funny how your brain does that. Like the cogs return in the back of my mind to like, they're like, fucking go back through what you're saying, go back through what you're saying, and then it pops back up again.
Nice.
It's weird. What's your brain doing, man? What is your brain doing in there? But yeah, if you're putting your happiness at this point in the future, like, are you saying you'll only be a happy person when you're in this new location with the good weather? How do I put this into the appropriate level of words for what I'm feeling? Do you ever just have like a feeling of an idea and you don't have the specific context to get it out, to vomit it into your brain?
We got penguin.
Yeah, if you are basically saying that you can only be happy in this new place, how are you going to decide that you're just going to be an unhappy person now? If you're an unhappy person now, you're probably going to be an unhappy person in the new place that you get to. Kind of like, I'll only be happy if I become the world champion, or I'll only be happy when I reach this like external marker or achievement. How about you just try and find ways to become happy now, partner? How can you find a way to be happy in this place? Because if you're not happy in this place, you probably won't be happy in the next place that you get to either. Because you're going to be the same person over there, and there's going to be moving goalposts all the time.
Yeah.
Gotta find ways.
Goalpost move, yeah.
Gratitude is the way. It's gratitude. It is. It's gratitude.
Yeah. Finding things to be grateful for. Yeah.
And if you just practice gratitude every single day, is that the key? Is that the answer? Is that the solution? I think so. I actually do think so. Whenever I have been in a rut, coming back to gratitude is always the thing that gets me out of it.
What else?
Honestly, I think that's the biggest one.
When you're in a rut. Okay, like think about specific actions that you might take. Like let's say you're in a rut. Think about the last few ruts you've been in. By ruts I mean like it's feeling low motivation, low mood. Yeah. And then that kind of spills into every avenue of life. What do we do?
An actionable thing that I did yesterday that really like picked me up was I cleaned my room.
Nice.
Yeah, nice. That had a big impact. And I think that was why I hadn't been journaling or hadn't been doing stuff, because my desk was real messy. There was just like shit everywhere, and it wasn't clear the thing that I had to do. It was like I couldn't sit at my desk because I had clothes on the chair. So I couldn't sit in the chair if I wanted to sit in the chair.
Yeah, but you didn't have time to clean your whole room.
Yeah.
So
that's the feeling. I'd have to move something around, and then I can't do all that now. And if I start doing the task, I won't be able to finish it, so I don't even want to start it. Yeah. So then I wouldn't journal because there's clothes on the chair. Yeah. So that went on for however long, and then I'd move the clothes, but then there'd be more clothes. I'd do a new set of washing, and I'd put them on the chair because I didn't want to clear out all the old clothes that didn't fit me anymore, that were in my drawers and blah, blah, blah. So yesterday I packed up 3 bags of old clothes that are not going to fit me again. They're just... like, I know I'm never getting to 2XL and 3XL ever again in my life. So I packed up all these things. I'm either going to bring them to a charity shop or just give them to any of my large friends that I know.
I'm going to see a load of homeless people walking around with the t-shirts down to their knees, bro. They're all going to look like fucking, like a 2000s rap music video. They're all going to be like, they're going to be like bunching at the bottom. They're going to be like... all the kids are going to be swallowed by the t-shirts.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm sure there's some big guys out there.
Oh man.
Like, man, love to the big guys. Anyway.
There's much love. That's hilarious.
Man, they're going to be so cozy.
Wait, no.
They're going to be so cozy.
Did you say it's big homeless people? What are they eating? These people are struggling, dog. Yeah.
Man, they'll be cozy. Like, it'll be cozy.
Yeah. That's nice, so yeah.
Anyway,
clean your room.
3 bags of whatever. Man. Just declutter. Yeah. Declutter. Get rid of stuff. That was one of the big things that's probably happened over the last 3 months is like mentally decluttering. So the no longer using social media. I've been reflecting on that a good bit over the last week or so. Probably one of the most beneficial changes I've ever made in my whole life is not using social media. And I wish there was a way to like convey that to other people, because I think so many people would find like immeasurable benefit to their life, their quality of life, their like headspace if they stopped using social media as much or at all. Yeah. I don't know how to do that other than just talking about my own experience with it, but honestly, it has been so transformative for me. It's been it's analogous to cleaning out my room. It's just cleaning out my brain. It's clearing out all the unnecessary shit that I didn't need in there, where I can actually like focus on myself and what is important to me in my life. Yeah. So that, clean the room, cleaning the headspace a little bit, not putting as much shit in there. Yeah. And I think they've been the most actionable things that I've felt as of late. What are things you go to, you lean on, you?
What's coming to mind is I think the denominator between a lot of these things will be what's the like smallest actionable step, and then it makes you feel accomplished, and it makes you feel satisfied in your behaviors, and then you start to win the day a little bit back. Like, okay, I can do these things.
Yeah, I like that.
You know what I mean? And like, it's not to say like some days are going to be super unproductive on the grand scheme of things if your parameter for productivity is, you know, working on X, Y, or Z. It doesn't really, it's different for everyone. There will be days where you do less of what you want to do than other days. But we all know those days where you just let the day run away. It's like you keep procrastinating until the day's gone. So what do I do? I think planning out, so breaking down what it is I have to do and planning out when I need to do it by, and so work backwards and say, okay, well, I need to do, you know, this amount by this day next week, this amount by Monday, this amount by tomorrow, and this amount today. And then the amount you have to do today is always less than, it seems.
That's interesting that you frame it like that as well. So would you say the rut you're in is generally related to workload or overwhelm or things like that?
Maybe my mood ruts. I've been pretty good with my mood, to be honest. And I think I just like, I don't know. It's maybe it's hard to say right now in terms of like my experience. My mood hasn't been all that low, and it's usually tied to not doing something. And so then I figure out how to do the thing. Yeah, it's usually procrastination related, which I'm fortunate to say that's the main thing that affects my mood.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I'm just like,
chill. You're happy.
Yeah,
I'm
fresh.
You're living the dream.
Yeah, I'm lucky for that. Yeah.
Very interesting. Yeah, I'm trying to think myself. Is that something that I have to deal with too much? Because I don't think so. It's like maybe that's it's funny because you're in that whole academic sphere where there's deadlines and dates and things that you have to work through by a certain time. So it makes sense that it reflects in that. Whereas my lifestyle is more like being self-employed. You kind of, it's the like having to create those deadlines for myself.
Yeah.
Somewhat. Interesting.
And it's only you upholding them.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
Brings
trying
its
to
own
think what would be the main thing that leads to my general low moods, and I think it's more often than not like a lack of defining, like it's like an ambient, like undefined feeling of like anxiety or stress or weirdness. It's not that I know I have a deadline of something that I need to do and I am procrastinating and not reaching it. It's like I have a general sense of unease or a general sense of being unsettled and I'm not exactly sure what it is. And then a lot of the work is actually just like finding out what it is, like discovering what is like in the back of my mind that's potentially weighing on me.
Yeah.
And usually it's a sense that like I could be doing more or I should be doing more, even when I'm already doing a lot, which is hard to manage again when you're self-employed because you could always be doing something. Like every waking hour of the day I could be doing something. And then if you have high standards for yourself, it's like if there's ever a point where you're not doing that, then you have the stress of that. So if you're ever doing something like just training or enjoying yourself or anything like recreational or like a leisure related activity, it's in the back of my mind that I could be working now or I could be working on some idea or something for growth of the business and whatnot. And trying to manage that would probably be one of the big sources of my own low moods, like a feeling that I could or should be doing more, that I have like some potential that's going untapped. That's why I'm listening to Zig Ziglar. Like he's motivating me. He's saying you're destined for more. You can achieve the greatest things in your life. Yeah.
So hold on. You feel like you've potential untapped, or you feel like when you're not spending all those hours of the day, like say recreational time or not, and not putting hours into the business, you feel
like I'm wasted. So I have this, and I don't know how to talk about it, like publicly, but I have this like belief in myself that whatever I put my mind to, I can be like very successful at, or I can achieve like really good results. Like I have that kind of self-belief, self-efficacy. Like I've done enough difficult things where I've shown myself that I can do difficult things, and I've shown myself that I can do difficult things and get really good results. So I think one of the things that I struggle with is like, I know I can achieve something like really big. What is it that I want to put my time and energy to to achieve those like big results. For ages, it was like powerlifting, trying to be the most competitive lifter that I could be. Now I feel like I'm kind of transitioning into a phase of my life where it's no longer like a selfish goal or desire that I have. Like I want to be the best in whatever this field is. I think it's more like the values are shifting around trying to help others. One of the big things that Zig Ziglar says is you can have like anything you want in your life if you help enough other people get what they want in their life. That is the general like premise. So that's one of the things. I think through business, the values have kind of shifted that I just want to try help others to like have the good experiences that I've had in my own life, in my own like personal pursuits. And then through that, set myself up in a way where I can start my own family and provide for my own family and yada, 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 yada. They're kind of, that's what feels very compelling to me at the moment. I don't even know how we got onto this. Man, the caffeine is like jerking my brain off today.
Hell yeah. And it's nothing. It is nothing.
Oh, double scooped on the way over here.
Oh, yeah. You can double scoop me.
Yeah. So what were we just talking about?
I was basically picking at the ideas that the things that get you into a low mood or rut is when you're feeling like you're not.
Yeah, so I feel like I'm not like, I feel as though I have the capacity to like give out the information that I've got through my own experiences to a lot of people. I feel like I have the capacity to like help other people feel good. When I like dig into like the bones of it, to help other people feel good, to help other people be like happy in their own lives and pursuits and whatnot. And at the moment, that is through the pursuit of like powerlifting. I know like the sense of like self-confidence that powerlifting has given me through that journey of training, the self-efficacy that it has given me, like that belief in myself that I can do hard things. So I know the benefits that journey can have. So I know that I can help other people go through that. And I want to do that. But then I'm like, okay, there's confines to how much you can help other people just through the lens of powerlifting. And then I've worked with people, say the transformation that they want to go through is that they want to build muscle. And they've added X amount of muscle to their frame over whatever amount of years. And then they communicate like how meaningful that has been for them in terms of how they perceive themselves and how that has kind of carried through into the whole rest of their life. And I'm like, damn, I like that. That is a really good feeling. That's kind of, it's more significant than just like a PR. Or people who want to lose weight and they've lost like 20 kilos and they talk about how significant that has been in their perception of themselves and it's carried over to their whole life. That feels amazing. And then I'm like, okay, I want to be able, I get so much fulfillment from being able to like help other people do that. But then it's like, I want to be able to like help the whole world. But I don't know how to help the whole world. And then I'm like trying to figure out ways where I can help as many people as possible. But then if I'm not like working on something that is like really big and like overwhelmingly helpful, I feel like I'm selling myself short because I have the capacities and I have the skills and I just have the belief that I could help a lot of people. I just feel like I always need to be aiming for some like massive, huge, almost like unattainable target. And if I'm not doing that or I'm not working towards that, I'm like selling myself short because I believe I have the skills and the capacity to do it. Like even looking at Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins is like helping stadiums full of people. Like so many hundreds and thousands and millions. I'm like, if one person can do that, I wonder how I could do that. And then I find it interesting because initially it had been through the world of powerlifting specifically and like lifting heavier weights and like hit PRs. But then gradually it turns into this stuff of helping people like transform their view of themselves. And then I'm looking at Tony Robbins and I'm like, this motherfucker's helping people's health, wealth, relationships, mindset. And I'm like, damn. Yeah. I wonder how we could do that. But then I'm like, it's literally the exact same principles of what we're talking about. So then I just, I don't know. I have this like compulsion or drive that I just want to be able to do some level of good on like the biggest scale possible. And if I'm not doing that, it's like I'm selling myself short. And then I'm judging myself that I'm selling myself short and I need to be doing more and I need to be working harder and I need to work on the largest scale and capacity that I possibly can. And there's a general unease of if I'm not doing that I'm failing. And I'd say that is the root of fucking hell. I didn't even know that was in me. That's probably the root of my ambient sense of like anxiety or unease generally day to day. That would be a common root of that.
What is it that you need to or should be doing now that one day gets you to the point where you're achieving what you're saying now?
This, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Conversations like this.
Mm-hmm.
I, again, listening to Zig Ziglar, he was talking about how he gave the analogy of like a bamboo tree. How, like, when you plant the seeds, I guess, they get planted, you have to, okay, I don't even know if this is true. This could be like 100% factually incorrect because someone, remember I said the thing about bees can't fly or they shouldn't be able to fly? I had someone then reply to me, a very well-educated man, who informed me that that's a myth. It's anti-bee propaganda, where it was presumed that bees' wings could only flap kind of similar to a bird's wings, like up and down. But in fact, bees' wings are so advanced that they not only can flap up and down, but they can like turn side to side. Basically, they create like a vortex, like a weird air vortex with their wings. And it was just presuming that a bee's wings worked the way that a bird's wings did. That if they did work like a bird's wings, then they wouldn't be able to fly. But they don't work like a bird's wings. That was a incorrect assumption. So bees' wings are actually
pretty cool.
They create little air vortexes.
Wow.
So anyway, what I'm saying now about the bamboo could also be completely incorrect, and I'm spreading misinformation. But anyway, you plant the seeds and then you water them, and it goes through one summer and nothing happens. But you have to keep watering it, and then it goes through a second year, second summer, you keep watering it, nothing happens, and you get to the 5 years and you keep watering it, and then over one summer across like 6 weeks, it shoots up to like 30 feet high, something like that.
Wow.
But it's not that it only grew over 6 weeks. It takes 5 years to grow of you watering it consistently, and then overnight you see this overnight success. But if at any point over those previous 5 years you stopped watering it, there wouldn't have been that 6 weeks of success. Nice. So that is kind of what I feel right now, is having these conversations, exploring these topics. Then that whole idea of repetition is, I imagine it could very well be the case that for the next 20 years, I continue having the same conversations about gratitude and keep revisiting them with a new depth of understanding, keep repeating the same things, but gradually, if you repeat the message enough, it perforates through the people around you. It takes on a stronger meaning for yourself. And then, because again, listening to Tony Robbins and stuff, I'm like, this is the same stuff that we're talking about, but it's like universal. It's timeless. You probably repeat it till the end of time. It's those same things. You just find new ways to package it, new ways to tell those stories. So, what do I need to be doing? I think it's just continuing on the trajectory that I'm on, with having talks like this, exploring these ideas with you, trying to just help people, trying to be kind, trying to be considerate, trying to be empathetic, trying to be understanding, spreading that as much as possible. I think that is what needs to be done, and then it's just the passage of time, letting that unfold, continuing to have a voice, or putting stuff like that out there as I get back to social media and using it myself and posting, continuing to put that message out there. I think that's what it is. That's what's necessary. But that's like such a long vision. That am I going to go through like 10, 20 years of that, constantly telling myself that I need to be doing more, I'm not doing enough, or can I be settled in the amount of work that I'm doing? Or
that's what I'm exploring. Is there anything that you're not doing that you could be doing?
Posting on Instagram, putting more content out there. Okay. And that's probably something that gives me a sense of unease, where I'm like, I'm not doing that, but then I have the conflict of, I know how beneficial it has been not using social media personally. So trying to explore that, how could I post on social media without falling into that? I think there's apps you can get where you schedule content.
Really?
And you post to like the third party app, and then the app posts for you, so you don't actually even have to engage with Instagram itself. So that is a potential avenue to explore. I think just posting more content, that's probably one of the biggest things. Do you know Gary V? Gary Vaynerchuk, big content social media guy. I remember seeing a clip from him where he was at like a convention, again talking to so many people, and there was this couple who owned a business, and their mission statement was that they wanted to change the world. And he's like, how many pieces of content are you putting out a week? And they were like, well, you see, the thing is, we're taking on a new person. He's like, how many pieces of content are you putting out a week? Well, like we've been having strategy meetings. How many pieces of content are you putting out a week? And they were like, 1. And he was like, oh, okay, so you want to change the world and you're putting out one piece of content a week. He's like, shut the fuck up and go create more content. Make something right now. Pull out your phone right now and post something. You need to be pulling content out there consistently. So and I think that's why it's been important to me to maybe like be doing these podcasts consistently, like trying to do them every week, so that we're continually in that mindset of, I don't know, just that whole vibe. Like when we're in here talking for an hour, 2 hours. I just want to be around that energy more often, having more of these conversations, feeling that, thinking that consistently. That's probably something that coincided with maybe the dip in mood over the last couple of months, was that inconsistency or not being in this vibe as often. Yeah. Again, don't even know where my train of thought is. Totally.
So I have the train. I know where it is. So how could you ensure that you know you're doing what it is you're setting out to do? So in the times that you feel like you could be doing more, you know you're doing what you should be doing.
Have clear, defined objectives or goals. If it's like an ambiguous target that you're reaching for, like lose weight, gain muscle, inspire the world, like that's not like a clearly definable outcome.
So what's your defined outcome?
Probably create parameters around how much content that I'm doing, find the behaviors that lead to that. It's a kind of similar, instead of setting a goal around like an external achievement or objective, like focus on the behaviors or the steps, like the process that will get you there. So maybe have those targets around, I want to create X amount of pieces of content a week, create one podcast a week, create
I get you.
Whatever. Practice gratitude daily, things of that nature. I would say that's probably it. And if I'm doing all those things, I know I'm going to be on the right path, the right trajectory. Yeah,
if you could like quantify how much. Not everything can be quantified, and sometimes you just have to go with the flow of things. Like I do quite like with artsy pursuits, is that sometimes you just have to fucking see what you're. Sometimes nothing happens like that for like an hour, and then eventually you just draw. Yeah,
turn on the tap. I love that.
But for you, I think maybe having some quantification of work that you could do a day, so that let's say it hits 7 and you've been chilling for 2 hours, you're not going to go, fuck, I should be, because you know you did. You know, even if it was turning on the tap and it led to nothing, the tap was on for say 3 hours at this time, and so you're happy.
I think that has been facilitated a lot by not using social media. I was reflecting on how much time I would have been losing when I was scrolling, and it's like living a different life. It's like being in a different world.
Yeah.
Having that much time back, that much mental clarity back.
Yeah.
And again, like I was saying, speaking to fucking ChatGPT a lot, it's just the general like being in that headspace of exploring ideas and exploring topics and exploring content creation, and that's time that I wouldn't have been. It's like I'm actively engaging with something. I'm actively engaging with something that is going to be moving me forward, as opposed to passively consuming stuff. And not only just passively consuming stuff that is in general like harmful and negative for my like headspace and well-being. So yeah, having that space away from that has given me more time and more opportunity to put my energy and focus and attention into things that are productive, and spending more time thinking and doing that has been helpful. So I'd say I get way more actual like productive work done now than I would have done a year ago, for example. Yeah, interesting. Very interesting. I'm never taking this much caffeine before anything ever again. My brain is like, it's like I have 10 tabs open in my brain.
Man, not gonna lie, you're getting me hyped up to have a Monster. You're getting me hyped up to have a coffee. There's something to do with when you have that nice morning coffee over ice, espresso over ice. Man, when you crack a cold Monster, just to do some work, you're not even going to train. You crack a cold Monster and you get typing, and you can hear the sounds of the keyboard hitting your brain, man. You're getting me going, man. There's something. It's hard to beat caffeine. When you puff that pre-workout, you open the pre-workout tub and it dusts. Man, I'm not gonna lie. Recently, sometimes when it goes into the air, I go, and I can feel the beta alanine tickling my nostrils, man. There's something about when you flick that blue raspberry synthetic ass fucking my protein pre-workout and switch up into the shaker cup, and I pump that Lucozade Sport in, and that mix, that sweet mix of that quick release glucose and that caffeine and beta alanine, fucking blue and orange mixed together. I don't even know what color it makes, man. Green, man. There is something about when I'm guzzling that, and my heart is pounding walking into the gym. Someone tries to talk to me and I can't even see them.
Oh my God, ready to run through a wall.
Oh my God, and you unrack the empty bar and you're like, I'm the strongest person in the world.
I'm on.
Man, I need to go upstairs when you go, and I'm going to crack open the laptop, crack an ice cold condensation outside Monster, and just get going.
Yeah, that's beautiful. It is. It's a great feeling. I like when it hits as well. Do you ever take like pre-workout or caffeine or something and it doesn't hit? You're just too fatigued and you just have
Nothing worse. Now you just like feel full, bloated, and your heart's just like boom, boom.
and
You're actually tired.
You
You're
could
like,
have a heart attack. Like,
my eyes are hurting because they're so tired. Yeah.
but when it hits, my god, it's
my God.
beautiful. Like
This shit should be
driving
illegal.
here, man, on the M50.
Yeah.
I treated myself the other week. I bought myself a new pair of sunglasses. They arrived this morning. Man, and the sun is on. The pre-workout was hitting.
Oh
I was
my
driving down the
God.
motorway, man, with the music on, slightly above the average volume that I would listen to.
Yeah.
It was going into my bones. Like I could feel the music.
Into your bones.
Colors were brighter.
Yeah.
Sounds were just hit. I could feel the rhythm in my soul.
Yeah.
It was.
What was the pre-workout you had?
It was My Protein Origin pre-workout. It's
scoop.
sour watermelon, 2 scoop. Yeah, I believe it's around 300 milligrams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't get why they do that. They're like 1 serving. It's 2 full scoops level.
Bizarre.
Yeah.
And it never comes out at that. Like I have to weigh it each time if I actually wanted the accurate.
Yeah.
These days I don't want the accurate. I'm just gonna.
I
just
watch
a splash of this, a drop. Of
I
that,
watch
like,
you doing it, and the scoop is like heaped so much it's like twice the size.
It's 4 scoops. It's 4 scoops of free.
You're like 2 scoops, and I see you like putting your hand under the scoop.
Yeah, caffeine's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, why is it legal? Why is that legal?
Great question. Why is alcohol legal?
Wait, no, it's not.
Why are you laughing?
Alcohol isn't illegal.
No, why is it legal?
Oh, why is it legal? Well, it wasn't. Prohibitions times. Remember that?
No.
Well, of course
I
we
wasn't
don't
alive
remember.
then.
Yeah. What was it, like early 1900s?
Yeah.
Yeah, World War One. It was illegal.
Damn.
Alcohol. For what? I think it must have been something to do with they didn't know how to tax it.
Yeah.
But other than that,
And then I realised they can make a load of money on it.
yeah,
Tobacco, similar.
tobacco.
Yeah, it's weird. How do you decide what one's bad, what one's good? I'm sure there's risk analysis done of some sort, but yeah, that's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because alcohol's pretty harmful, like.
Yeah. Caffeine doesn't make you that intoxication.
Yeah.
But after a certain amount of it, you would be.
Yeah, pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
Like.
At what point would you say you're like not well?
Okay, with caffeine.
Yeah.
I was looking up the lethal dose, and I think it's
18 monsters?
probably something like that. I can't remember exactly. So the ideal dose for like strength benefits and is 3 to 6 milligrams per kilo body weight.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
for me, like 300 to 600 in that realm.
Yeah.
I think the lethal dose was something like 100 milligrams per kilo body weight.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Okay.
I think the dose where things start getting quite problematic is like 10 to 15
Yeah.
milligrams per gram. So per kilo body weight. So that would be,
A gram.
yeah. That's when you start getting like just bad kind of
Stomach.
palpitation-y kind of feelings. But you don't take that by accident. Like
No.
taking that for like a competition or 2 competitions.
And that's. I wonder how acutely you have to take the amount of caffeine. Because obviously every drug has a half-life, and so it's like going down as you take the next bit. So like the chances of you reaching that peak when you're when you're like topping it up.
It would be so uncomfortable to consume
Yeah.
that amount.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna bring something else up.
Who was your man? Who was your man that used to powerlift in Ireland, and he'd be posting mad stories, like calling people out and everything?
I don't know.
I bet he
There's been
took
a few,
crazy
man.
amounts of caffeine.
There's been a few. Yeah, no, that's what I was. This is another point I was gonna make.
Yeah.
There's a book I'm gonna get about how during the World War II the Nazis were all
Coke.
on meth, like they
Oh,
were
meth.
all methed up. Like Hitler was super methed up. I think it's called Blitzed. The name of the book is Blitzed.
Okay.
I've heard stories about it. Have you ever seen the video? It was in my favorites, but do you know in the favorites holder of YouTube, it just gives the thumbnail of what the thing is.
Yeah.
But it was Hitler at the Berlin Olympics, completely cracked out, like tweaking like this. That was my favorite. But if I ever went onto like my profile on YouTube, that was like there was just like a video of Hitler, like a thumbnail of Hitler, and I was like, okay, I need to
maybe not.
probably get rid of this. But yeah, Hitler like completely drugged up. And then I came across this book, I think it's called Blitzed, of how the Nazis and Hitler in particular were totally fucked. during World War II. Because I'd be fascinated to know more about that. Because it would make sense, and the shit they did was pretty horrific.
Yeah.
You'd probably need to
Would have
be
needed
fairly
something.
mangled to do that. So, yeah, that's an interesting book. On the note of like caffeine and harmful drugs, I don't know why that came to my mind.
Yeah.
Hitler was totally cracked, like
blitzed. Yeah.
And then, my hip hurts.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna sub out squat and deadlift.
Or just do conventional.
No.
Yeah, it was always that you wouldn't fit.
Yeah,
now you're
that's
gonna
true.
fit.
That would absolutely. So the reason I think I'm going to take out squat and deadlift, I went on a bit of a deep dive again of asking ChatGPT around different natural competitors of bodybuilding and powerlifting simultaneously, and how they have managed it. And say someone who is in the like late stages of a bodybuilding contest prep where they've been dieting for a long period of time, what they do with the competition lifts, how they navigate that, what they move around. Because when you're like, you have all that diet fatigue and you're super frail and you're super skinny, how much expected strength drop off is there? How do they navigate that? Do they still do the competition lifts? Just who are some different people who have done that? Who can I look at? Do they have any content around it, documenting their preps and yada yada? And there was a few good people like Lane Norton, Eric Helms, Brad Loomis, I think his name is, the 3DMJ guys. They have some good content around that. And like even Russ did like a men's physique show, and kind of seeing how they navigated their preps, what they did with the comp lifts. Because for me, I did like 12 weeks at a 1% average body weight loss, going from 117 down to around like 105. Then chilled at maintenance for a little bit leading into open Euros. Saw a bit of strength drop off for the amount of body weight that I lost. And then from open Euros to now, I think I'm now coming up on 14 weeks or so of 1% average body weight loss. So I'm in like the 20s in terms of percent of total body weight that I've lost since Junior Euros last year, which is a lot of body weight. And at the 1% loss, that's a pretty like aggressive rate. So Eric Helms had some sort of study around like natural competitors, some of them at 0.5% average body weight loss and some of them at 1% average body weight loss.
Okay.
And the 0.5% loss, they maintained significantly more muscle mass and significantly more strength than the 1% average body weight loss people. So essentially the takeaway is, if you want to maintain performance, 0.5% is the range that you would want to lose at. Now, you do have to weigh up, and this is something that I imagine I'll create like a considerable amount of content around, and we don't even have to go fully into it now because it will probably take a while to parse out all the different possibilities. But for my example, since I had so much body weight that I wanted to lose, going at 0.5% average body weight loss would take me twice the amount of time. I would still be like 106 right now if I was going at that rate, and I did not want to stay that big for that long. So there is like trade-offs in terms of how big you are, how much body weight you need to, and I'm apprehensive about using the word need because it's like it's a want, how much you want to lose, but then acknowledging the potential trade-off of performance, because my performance has dropped, I would say, significantly at the stage that I'm at now, but that's nearly like 24 plus weeks of being at a 1% average body weight loss, which is a lot. Like that's a lot. So it's totally expected that your performance is going to drop off that much. Like I've been taking between 200 and 220 as like my squat singles, and in my brain I was like, that's ridiculous. Like I've lost, like not lost because they're not super hard, it's not my max, but that's like 100 kilos below my all-time best. But considering the impact on your recovery, like your glycogen stores, your just like how your joints are feeling and recovering, it's understandable that 220 is feeling that rough at the moment. And it's understandable that it's only going to continue feeling rougher for the next 4 to 6 weeks that I plan on staying in deficit. I want to get down to like 87 kilos. It's only going to feel worse as I get to that stage. That will be the equivalent of like late stage competition prep, essentially, for a bodybuilder. even though it's not going to be the exact same, and I'm not going to get to like competition level leanness of single digit body fat, but I might get down around like 10%, 12% body fat, I would say. So I'm going to do the equivalent of what natural bodybuilding competitors would do. I'm going to sub those out. And then once I've kind of reached the bottom of the deficit, then I will reintroduce the competition lifts and start to build them back up. But just the amount of like axial fatigue and stress that I'm getting from doing squats, my hip hurts a bit at the moment. I just don't want to mess with that. So I'm just going to sub those movements out. Like deadlifts, it feels like, I saw the analogy of you're trying to like rip a tree trunk out of the ground. That's what it feels like. I'm trying to uproot a tree, trying to lift a bar off the floor. So that's why I'm not doing conventional, because that would snap me in half at the moment.
So deadlifts feel like all the time for me. Trying to take something out of the ground that isn't supposed to move.
So yeah, I think I'm just going to sub them out for things like leg press and a hack squat and like 45-degree hip extension, just while I'm feeling pretty frail.
Yeah.
And then it was exploring kind of the rebound and the recomp phases that these people experience as they come out of their late stage competition prep and then enter back into, say, recomping and reverse dieting and maybe approaching a powerlifting prep, and how fast their strength rebounds. And generally 3 to 6 weeks, like 90% of their strength has returned. And then it might take like up to 12 weeks, 16 weeks. And generally they've reached like their baseline numbers, depending on how quickly they've gone back up in their body weight and how much lean mass they actually preserved throughout the deficit. So anyway, that's what I think I'm going to do. I think it's now the stage where if I'm continuing the deficit, I'm going to sub out the competition lifts. I remember we talked to Jack Thornton, the Irish head coach, and he said when he was cutting, he instead of doing competition squat, he was doing like high bar, he was doing RDLs or like trap bar or something even instead of deadlifts, like close grip bench. Because yeah, I'm getting to the stage where it is like weighing on me psychologically, like the amount of weight that I'm down in terms of my strongest numbers, but then also like just in terms of the fatigue that I'm getting from these movements, it's like disproportional for what I need. So yeah,
cool.
Yeah,
but
so I want to. I'd say I'm gonna go hit. There's like a really interesting leg press in the gym.
Squat press.
Training. It's called a squat press, but I just really like it. It feels good, so I'm gonna do that instead of squatting. And then I think I'm just gonna do like a 45-degree hip extension instead of deadlifting, and then I'm going to do stuff like leg press or leg extension, hamstring curl, adductor machine, stuff like that. Just enough that I can get like a leg stimulus. And I was kicking it around for a while, thinking if I could just even stay squatting, even if it's really light, so that I stay like in the movement pattern of it. I stay familiar with how to squat, and say if I took them out and I have to come back to it, that it doesn't feel foreign and it doesn't take a couple of weeks to get like back in the movement pattern or the motor pattern of squatting. And there's probably some validity to that, but I'm at the stage where I just don't want to. I don't want to squat and I don't want to deadlift.
Yeah.
So I think whatever like 1 to 2 week period of like relearning it when I come back is going to be worth it, because it's at the stage that my leverages are changing so much every week that I am having to relearn it anyway. I'm down like a notch on my belt every week. I'm having to bring my grip in every week. I'm having to change my stance every week. Belt fit, it's I'm on like the last. So I was on the last notch before in terms of like at the end of the belt, and now I'm at the very beginning of the belt. So I don't know how many belt notches that is, but it's a lot. And I'm just having to change my technique every week anyway. So there's no coherency or like consistency with it. So I might as well just take it out. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a big deal. It's like, right, it's in my if I step back and talk a little bit less properly, it's like you're not powerlifting right now, and then you can just powerlift again
when it's not
in a while, and it will feel weird. But regardless of whether, like you're saying, regardless of whether or not you do it now, it's going to feel weird for a while.
And if you just have the long enough vision, like you're looking at the big enough picture, it doesn't matter right now. Yeah. Because I'm not doing a competition right now. Yeah. The earliest I'd be doing a competition is like early next year. Yeah. So there's no need right now. If you have the longer term vision, you can take a step back now, and then you can, when it is appropriate time, introduce back to competition lifts. And using the frame of like people who have done powerlifting competitions and then natural bodybuilding competitions, that has been really helpful and useful for myself. So
do you know what you want to get back up to?
I would say I'll probably fluctuate between like 87 up to 97, maybe 100. I don't see myself going over 100 kilos ever again.
Okay, I see that range.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so I'll just continue recomping in between that. But this takes me on to what I imagine I'll create a lot of content around is we know to maintain as much like strength and performance as possible, you would want to be at that like 0.5% body weight loss. We also know that we don't really want to be in a deficit for more than 12 weeks. So the amount that you can lose if you're adhering to those protocols
6%
is not, it's not really that much body weight. So if you are getting to the stage where you're putting on so much fat that you're going to have to either be in a deficit for so long that you're losing out on a ton of time that you could be doing productive training where we're in a surplus, because that's another frame, is we want to spend as long a time as possible in a surplus so that we're actually building more muscle and getting bigger and getting better and getting stronger. If you're having to spend 24 weeks at a 0.5% rate of loss with a maintenance period sandwiched in there so that you're not consistently in a deficit for too long, you've lost half of your year to cutting. So then alternatively, you could go with the 1% rate of loss, but then you're going to lose more muscle mass and more performance as you're coming down. So it's kind of a case for not getting too fat. More frequent cutting and bulking cycles being the likely best case scenario for maximizing your performance long term. Not getting to a stage where you either have to do an aggressive cut and lose muscle mass and performance on the way down, or have to spend so long going at a moderate rate of cutting that you lose loads of time that you could have been doing productive training. So yeah. And then to do that, you have to not bulk too fast. And then to not bulk too fast, you have to be tracking. You have to be tracking your body weight. You have to be tracking those variables. You have to be tracking your nutrition so you can actually control that and adhere to the rate of progress that you want to be moving at. Yeah. Anyway, I imagine I'll create quite a bit of content around that. But you got to track it. You got to measure it. You got to know what you're doing. And then it's been interesting, like I was saying, one of the books that I've been consuming is like a financial book. And the guy was talking about budgeting and the importance of budgeting. And I sent you a clip from the book and I was like, man, if you just replace budgeting with like tracking your nutrition, it's almost like verbatim what my coaching philosophy is, the importance of tracking and how oftentimes you can shy away from it because it feels like it's a lot of work or it's like difficult. Well, it's more difficult is like not having any control over where you're getting and just getting there by happenstance and hoping for the best and like wandering blindly and just hoping that you get to the destination that you want to get to. So yeah, that was very interesting hearing the comparison between like tracking and budgeting and how important that is. Because yeah, it's kind of stressful, but it's also stressful not getting the goals that you want and being out of the shape that you want. So yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Lots of thoughts going on.
Yeah.
Anyway, what's going on in your world?
Yeah, man. How do you tie your laces in a sock?
Have you ever seen like shoes in a shop?
No.
I remember seeing it one time in like Foot Locker, and the way that the shoes were tied was real weird, and I was like, I kind of like that. So anyway, I learned how to do it, and I did it.
Okay.
And it's good.
Cool.
Yeah, I like it. Rather than the whole the way you're like normally taught. I don't know why, I just saw it and it looked good. But all the shoes that were in Foot Locker were tied like that, and I was like, why are they tied like that? And then I just started doing it.
What's going on in my life? I'm writing my dissertation, so that's due in. It's the 8th of August, so we're probably 3 weeks out from that. So I just need to keep chipping away. I'm in a good place with it. I don't know how many people know like the breakdown of a report, but like it's just in sections, and I'm nearly on the last section, and then I'll just go back and look at all the other sections that I've already written and just take out things that didn't matter in the end, or not like that. More say I have like multiple things we were potentially going to use, and then we used one, so I'll just take out the other two. Fix anything, and then go through and make sure all the citations are okay. But yeah, pretty close.
And then you're done?
Yeah, pretty close. Yeah.
Then what?
It's a good question. My supervisor asked me that the other day. We were out for food with the other people in the lab, and she asked me what am I going to do, and I said, I think I'm going to chill for a while, chill for a few months, and just, I've competitions, so I can say I'll like let them be the focus for that period of time, the like kind of deadlines or the goals, but otherwise just enjoy chilling for a while, because once I start working, I'll probably be busy, say Monday through Friday and stuff like that. But then even then is like we had a little discussion, because I was like, okay, I imagine I'll get into like an assistant role for a while, and then I always wanted to do a clinical doctorate, but maybe like a psychotherapy doctorate, or they're called different things, like counseling, whatever, to be a therapist specifically. I like those ideas. I think that would be quite a fulfilling job for me as I get older. But then the typical path into mainly the clinical, but I imagine the counseling doctorate is similar, is so. She was giving out about it. She was basically saying she doesn't really understand the criteria for people getting in. You could have someone who does all the kind of necessary mandatory stuff, and they still don't get in. And then it's kind of like there's no like instruction manual to give people. It's like, okay, here's what you should do.
But
Like,
you don't know.
I'm fairly sure with like say doctors, it's like they'll do their medicine and then they just like do a certain residency, and then that's just it. You just do. It's objective. Whereas there seems to be a warp somewhere in psychology where it's like, yeah, undergrad DCU is unreal. It's accredited. It's a Bachelor of Science. It ticks every box. And it's like, okay, I'm doing this cool master's. It's like more science. It's specifically neuro as well. It's in a accredited university. It's like, if I go to apply to a doctorate, they're like, you just don't have the experience we're looking for. So it's like, okay, how do I get the experience you're looking for? And then, kind of in a harsh way, go and do this bullshit kind of like, what's the word for it? Like, assistant job is what we call it, but it's really just like fucking photocopier job, or like you do the hard work, you do all the writing for the person, the grunt work. Get my coffees almost is what it feels like. It's like, fuck that. Yeah. I'm not doing that for a few years. It's like people are just like, oh, but you can put up. It's like, do I want to put up with that? Like, it's like, fuck the system if that's what the system is. So I don't know. I might look around and just see if I can, because then we ended up talking, and she was like, if everywhere needs a little bit of experience, let's say they won't just take fresh babies, they need someone who's like just seeing how something works. Because I was saying, I don't know if I want to travel and when, and she was like, go travel and just like message people or email people and say, can I shadow you for a while while you're traveling? And that way you get to knock two birds with one stone. Then you come back and you're like, oh, you've shadowed X, Y, and Z psychotherapist in these random countries. Awesome, yeah, come here. It's like, if they're not taking that, then what are they taking? You know? So, or do it somewhere else. So I need to just like look at everything. And yeah, I just don't think I want to take those like bullshit roles. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't want to be cleaning someone's shoes in the psychology way. Yeah. I'd rather be like actually adding, and this could be wrong, but I almost feel like private settings might be a good place to do that, instead of like, oh, we're not paying you if you're not doing something. Whereas if there's like a HSE position for interns, the person might not care, and they might just say, here, yeah, just like you do the stuff I don't want to do, because either way we have our jobs, and that's hard. That's, if I was in a HSE position, I wouldn't be doing something stupid, but if they are the opportunities, I don't know if I want certain opportunities, you know. So that's a lot of years worked into one. I think I just need to spend a few months figuring out how do I get the necessary experience to get into a doctorate program to become a therapist without doing a load of stuff I don't want to do. Because there's no way after 5 years after all that stuff I don't want to do. You know what I mean? I completely understand there'll be things that there's always a boring side to everything. Some admin work will always be there, and so I'll have to learn how to do it. But there's a line, so figure that stuff out and enjoy life as I go.
I like it. It's a mistake to look too far into the future. There's only one link in the chain of destiny can be handled at a time.
This link is being, the end of it is being forged. Yeah. So. And
then we'll worry about the next one.
Yeah.
Very good. And you mentioned competition coming up. When is that?
It's about 8 weeks from now. It's in Finland somewhere. People keep asking me, is it Helsinki? I'm like, I don't know. I don't book this far out. Yeah. I'll look at it maybe in like 2 weeks when the Masters is coming to a close. Yeah. Somewhere in Finland, yeah. Westerns and then Nationals.
Yeah. What date is it?
14th September, that weekend.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very good. That'll be exciting. Training? How's it going?
Training's
you sent me a couple of videos.
Yeah.
You gave me some videos.
It's going great. Yeah. It's going great. Again, every time we record, it's just been a case that gave the reins to Adam, just lifted, didn't question, didn't care, just lifted. I cared about what was on my end and just did, and it's been going great.
Excellent.
Going great, yeah. So, I'd love to see, kind of a partial goal in my head is, can I PB, even if just like 2.5, way lighter. Like I am 98, and all my PBs are around 103, so.
Nice. And what has the trajectory of body weight been, or what has your nutrition approach been?
It's honestly been just staying around 98, and then for a while I was going to drop, and I think I came down to 97. We decided, okay, just like stop eating all the extras and just like eat enough to fuel recover and not be hungry, but don't add on. Then you know that feeling of like I'm at my calories or I've eaten, and then it's like I'll just have 500 more to carb up. It's like I'm I don't need the. So I've actually just been maintaining at 98. Yeah, it's been nice. Enjoying. Training's been good. Everything's been good. Seen Superman the other day.
How was it?
You gotta go see that.
Yeah, good.
It's good.
Yeah, who directed that? The same guy, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
James Gunn.
Yeah, he's popping off.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll add that to the list. I'll go see that.
Yeah, you gotta.
Go see that soon.
What else? What else been going
on? Your training is going really good. I don't want to gloss over that. Like that was the first video that I saw.
Yeah, to be fair,
recently.
It actually was pretty good.
First video in ages.
Yeah, like I haven't hit much more than that actually. To be honest.
Well, what 240 for 5?
Yeah,
squat. Like that's big. That's really big.
And the week prior, I'd taken 225 because I was doing a set of 2 sets of 5 ascending and then a single.
Yeah.
So it's pretty hard work.
Yeah.
Some people seem to make it look super easy and they do their PB fatigue singles like. When I'm doing a fatigue single, I'm pretty fucked. Like it's my first time doing that, and the heaviest on week 4 I'd get up to was 212 for 5, 225 for 5, and I was like, I was sweating at that point. And I took a hard 245 single, but then coming into we didn't know. I texted him. He was like, this week training was sick, and I was like, what are we doing next week? He was like, I don't know, let me check. Yeah. And then Monday morning I opened my program and it was just the same thing. So like, fuck it. I'll just go in super hype. Because previously I would have fell to I've already done 4 weeks of this, so probably gonna be wrecked today or whatever. Or the opposite, I'll fucking max out today because it's another week. So I was like to him, 225 means I'm probably looking at 230, a nice increase. Or I think if I was doing no ascending work, I could just have a lob off 240. And he was like, really? You haven't felt that confidence in a while. Yeah. Do you actually want that? I was like, yeah, fuck it. And he was like, yeah, go for it then. Yeah. So it's great. I don't know what came over me. I was just like, yeah.
It just lined up.
Feels right.
Yeah, you've done everything.
Yeah. Cool. And it's pretty big.
It's really big.
Yeah. Because a few blocks ago, I don't think I was taking it for 1. And then it got to the point where I took it for 2 after a couple blocks. I think you've seen that. Yeah. Or I think you did. Yeah. Or 1 maybe. And then I paused 255 and I was like, oh, that's a cool PB. And then this block, 240 for 5. Which is nice because I did the 255 paused, went to Worlds to coach, and I was pretty beat up. I was like, no, don't worry about it. Like, you just beat up. You did some hard stuff. It's okay. And then I think I started this block with, something like 192 for 5. And I always think, how? No way. But yes way. yeah. So, 2 blocks really till the next comp.
Fuck, what coaches are going to Westerns?
Adam's gone. That's all I know. Not Jack. That's all I know right now. I just know he put his name in the hat and they said, yeah. Are you going to check if you can go? It'd be worth it. We were checking.
I'm going to check. I would imagine they probably have decided the team already, but I'm going to check because they reached out to me and asked would I do bench Euros in Malta. I think it's the week after.
Oh, okay.
And I said yes.
Okay. Hell yeah.
I said yeah.
Hell yeah.
So it's 3 days over there, I believe.
Nice.
I think we have a team of 13 or 14 people, they said.
Wow.
So that will be fun. Kind of like I said over the last few months, like I was just in a rut, like I wasn't in a good place to like take on things like that, like doing Worlds. It just wasn't going to be an appropriate time. When the text came through about coaching for bench Euros, I was like,
different place.
I was like, it's time. It's time.
Hell yeah.
To get back. So yeah, I would 100% be down to that.
That's really fun.
And I'd be down to do both, to be honest.
Nice.
Yeah.
Feels like
if there was a possibility, even just fucking in and out like 2 days, go see my boy. Like
the comp is only, isn't it 2 raw days at Westerns and 1 equipped?
Maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, as on the way back, I'm gonna reach out to.
Yeah, do definitely. Because to see what if they say no, we're at capacity. Cool. Yeah. At least you've offered.
Yeah.
I like that the bench team, I assume was actually the team that went to Worlds, give or take a couple.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure the World's Open team was the Euros team, give or take. And then the uni team was the uni team, give or take.
Yeah.
So I like that.
Yeah.
I think that's good.
There's like congruency. Like,
Yeah, I like that. And of course, I think powerlifting is probably, I don't know the stats for other sports, but it feels like it's one of the biggest turnover on like national teams, especially because it's so new. It's like every year the standard just goes boom, 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 boom. So I get that, but
where there was a few years, I feel like when we started, it was the same group
same people
every time.
Yeah.
Every time.
Funny, and then what changed? I guess
I think it just got
very
bigger,
popular, yeah.
and more
So every
people-
year
more
someone
people
new had started.
And there was some funkiness around the selection process. The process was kind of, do we know you? You're cool. You're coming. Like there was, it's not the case where anyone was like winning, but they weren't being selected. It was the same people winning.
Yeah, it was like the team was extended perhaps
Yeah.
for people.
Yeah. Who are just like, we know you. You're cool. You're good.
Yeah.
Come. And then they made like actual firmer like selection criteria.
Man, Barnstein saying that only the top 8 should be at Worlds.
Keep it.
Yeah, that changes it from like let's get all the countries involved here like a World Cup to let's make it like an invite.
Kind of like Sheffield, like
yeah.
Nah, I'm not. That's prime time. Like just do that for prime time.
Yeah.
What difference does it make if there's other people competing in like the B leagues?
Yeah, it doesn't affect you, dog.
Yeah, that would be my take.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll reach out and ask about Westerns.
Let me know.
Because that'd be fun. Because you were there for me. So I'd like to be there for you.
Oh, that was so fun, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was so fun.
Yeah, and then Adam's there as well. That would be really good. And I think it's fitting. It's fitting for like the transition that I had in my mind as well of moving towards kind of like fulfilling the kind of that same desire of wanting to be around like the international scene, but through a coaching capacity.
The Westlands team, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Stell.
Oh man, that'd be so fun. And then Adam's there, and then you're there. Yeah, that'd be really good. I'm gonna reach out and see what we can do. Hopefully, we'll see.
You know who's Lifton's going crazy? Sarah Doyle.
Oh yeah, popping off.
Oh, you haven't seen?
Oh man, I've been on Instagram.
She's just crazy strong.
Yeah,
just crazy strong.
Is she competing?
Yeah, at Westerns. So is Jane.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
There's loads of people.
That'd be a
actually,
really good.
Yeah,
that'd be a really. Oh man, I want to go now.
Yeah. It's like a nice B team.
Yeah.
Really nice B team. Yeah.
Yeah, and we always do well at Westerns. Like we always come home with like
pretty sure.
a nice amount of medals.
Pretty sure.
Fuck, I kind of want to do Westerns.
Man, it's cool.
Maybe next year. I'll try the Westerns.
Yeah,
like
shoot for that.
Or something.
Shoot for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. 93s has to be our most stacked. Class.
Yeah, 93s are crazy.
It's like there's like 4 people trying to win.
Yeah, and they're all like
or 5
tipping off 8.
Yeah.
8 plus.
Yeah.
That's
like,
crazy.
We have to see Colin Mahoney as well. Give a go at it as well.
Looking at what I'd need to hit at 93 to be like hitting 8, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know if we can do that.
A little bit of time.
Yeah.
On the flip. Like,
yeah.
Because right now your perception of sub 93 is 20 plus weeks deficit.
Yeah, mad. Oh, see, everything's optimistic, man. As soon as you have a bit of gratitude, like everything just fucking everything just brightens up.
Yeah, man. Do you notice? I won't keep us long, but do you notice it? You almost piss people off when you don't accept the negativity a little bit. When people come at you with like negative energy and you don't buy it, it's like you're then part of the problem.
Yeah,
do you notice that?
Sometimes
I'm just like, what?
I think a lot of people, like with that, they just want to be validated. Like they want the negativity to be validated. Yeah. Because
surely their mood is justified. Otherwise, it's in their control, and then they feel shit that
it's
they're
implying
not
that they're doing something wrong to not. Yeah.
Like people give out about people. I'm like, sure they didn't mean it. Like, I'm sure. You don't know what's going on with them. It's like, no, they're an asshole. Not enough.
Yeah, that's interesting. In the nonviolent communication book, they talked about that. They talked about the guy said he observed like an elderly couple where they were on like one of those little transporty things in the airport to get to their flight, and it was like moving slow. And the husband was like, I've never seen one of these move so slow in my life. And the wife didn't acknowledge it. And then he said aloud, he's like, I've never seen one of these things move so slow in my life. And the wife was like, well, it's like moving as fast as it can. And then that pissed him off even more. And then he was like, I've never seen something move like this so slow in my life. And then the wife was like, what do you want me to do about it? Get out and push? And then how that turned into an altercation and blah, blah, blah. And then the guy was observing if the husband had communicated his needs a little bit better, where he's like, I'm worried and apprehensive that we're not going to make it to our flight on time because this is moving kind of slowly. You get a different reception then, and then it's I'm also worried it's not ideal, it's not great. Then you also have to take in that accountability and ownership of could we have left earlier, and what is in our control that we didn't get here on time, that internal locus of control instead of external locus of control. And then when you are able to actually like accurately express your emotions and needs, then it's much easier for other people to receive and support that, as opposed to just making generalized statements like that where the person doesn't know what you actually need. So if you're just communicating this person's an asshole, the person you're saying it to doesn't necessarily know that you need to feel validated and supported, that you're actually feeling upset and hurt because the person said something that like kind of pricked one of your insecurities, or they did something that felt mean, or they didn't meet one of the needs that you have. If you were able to express that more clearly, then the other person could receive and support you in the way that you need that support. Instead, we communicate in kind of vagaries and implied communication rather than literal communication and whatnot.
Nice, man. Look at you go.
Trying, brother. I'm just trying. Trying to learn all these things. I got a book recently. It's about a framework of change and how people change and why people don't change. I can't remember the exact title of the book, but I'll read that this week. But it was like a 6-step like framework of the stages people have to go through to change. And there's like pre-contemplation, before they've even considered change. They don't want to change. They're not receptive to change. Contemplation, where they're aware of a change that needs to be made.
I think I've actually seen this.
I think it's like Prohaska or Prohaska's fucking tier of change. Pre-contemplation, contemplation, then I can't remember the other ones, but it's like planning or organizing and being aware that the change needs to be made, and then thinking of how they could implement that, and then the actual action of it, and then the consolidation of that change. Because that's interesting in coaching, particularly around nutrition. Because sometimes people have like a goal that they want to move towards, but they don't really want it that significantly to do the necessary steps. Like, it's still comfortable enough. And in the financial book, one of the things that the guy talked about was you have to feel like sick and tired of being sick and tired. You have to like reach the rock bottom before you make these changes. Oftentimes you have to, and I love that. I love that framework of you have to be sick and tired of being sick and tired before you have that like activation energy of something needs to change. You need to hit rock bottom so that you can get the activation energy to do something. So that's what then gave me the thread to pull, and then led to this book, and that's why I want to read this book to kind of understand that a little bit more, because I feel like a lot of resistance can come there if you're trying to force change on someone who is not in the stage where they're receptive to change yet, or you're similar to the motivational interview and you're trying to just like fix problems. You're just trying to tell someone like an instruction manual of this is what you need to do to change, rather than like evoking that process within them. You want to facilitate and guide them through those stages of the contemplation, and then into action, and then consolidation and whatnot. Yeah, interesting. Anyway, I'll go through that book, and then we'll be able to discuss it a little more.
Nice.
Yeah, that was an interesting episode.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, wonder how without like posting clips, how do we get across people that A, we're posting, but B, that like
it's good stuff. Yeah. I think just making clips. I think it's time to go back to making clips. Which was tough because the algorithm went weird for a while.
It was shitting on
me. It was completely kicking my dick off.
I said to you, it made a few years worse than mine.
Yeah.
And you had like 4 times the amount, 5 times the amount of followers.
Yeah. Which it was weird because we've had clips of the podcast that have done, say like a good one would do like 20,000 views. Then a great one would do like 50,000 views.
Yeah.
And then we had some clips that got like 500 or 600,000 views. And that like popped off, and the growth and everything was crazy. And then I would make clips and they would get like 1,000 views. But it would still be the same like time investment. It would still be the same like quality of information, at least from my perspective. But I guess it kind of coincided when things went really brain rotty. But then I have to try take some like ownership and accountability, instead of putting the external locus of control of the algorithms just like fucking me over. It's okay, what could I do to make the content more engaging and more eye-catching and more like just more captivating, that would draw people in, because if more people are watching it, then the algorithm just kind of serves. So it's not necessarily that the algorithm is out to get you. It's just the content is not serving whatever needs need to be met. Like if people are on the app and they're just looking for like very quick, kind of intense brain rot, like a longer form 60-second like video exploring some nuanced like topic is not meeting that. So potentially like repackaging it, fucking finding ways to make the content suit what people want. restructuring the videos in a way that is captivating and eye-catching enough for that people to stay watching long enough that the algorithm does pick it up. Because the algorithm, it's not some magic thing. It just, if people are watching it, it shows it to more people. So finding a way to make the content do that, which was tricky because it was doing that, and then something changed. So it's just trying to do the back work of, okay, what is actually changing? How can I make the content? And it's hard because it can be demoralizing because you're putting time into it and then you're not getting the positive feedback.
Yeah.
But I suppose you need to take that negative feedback then and then make the adjustments, and you'll then be fine. Rather than giving up, which was what, like after enough time of the videos doing shit, and you kind of just give up. But yeah, getting back to that kind of rejuvenated now that there's been a bit of time removed. YouTube Shorts as well, making those. Yeah, just getting back to posting. I think that'll be it. And then even if they're not doing great for a period of time, just sticking with it. And not just sticking with it and posting the ones that are not doing great. You have to be willing to test and adjust and tinker with it and make some changes if something's not doing well.
Cool.
So that's what we'll do.
Yeah, sure. Let's try.
That's what we'll do. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right. A pleasure as always. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. We will see you in the next one.